Maybe you slow things down just a tad bit more and potentially get them Jaguar hitters to swing through it. Here's the 2-2 count from Ariston. This one misses way up, didn't even threaten the zone. Nice job by Armenta to keep that one in her glove. So it's now a 3-2 count. Runners on first and second. It's now a cloudy day here at Santa Ana College. This one's hit on the ground. Luna gonna tag her bag, kind of try and throw it to one. No, she ends up eating that one, as looks like they'll rule that a fielder's choice. So Mendez is out on the way to third. Score that 5 unassisted for out number 2. Clark does reach aboard first via the fielder's choice. Beatty moves to second. And that'll bring up Rachel Varela. She's a 5'6" sophomore, batting from the right side. This one fouled, right into the dugout over there. Hope the coaches, staff, and the bench players over there for Santa Ana okay, as that one looked like some of the players. You can't see it from our angle here behind the backstop. However, you saw the fingers and hands go up. Runner on first, runner on second. Varela up at the plate. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Jaguars already have a 1-0 lead. Head coach Michael Gross had to duck out of the way of that one, as that was a heat-seeking missile aimed for his head. It's now an 0-2 count, though, as she pulled this one foul. Again, the Jaguars, are way out in front of the pitches that Ariston is throwing. Ariston needs one more pitch to get out of this inning. This one, that one looked like it almost caught the outer half, but it misses. 1-2. Varela went to Saddleback Community College, not too far in the same conference as Santa Ana, then transferred to Southwestern. This one way up above the head of Varela. Easy take for her. And it's now a 2-2 count. Still here in the top of the first inning. Dons trailed 1-0. Here's the 2-2. This one hit softly right back to Ariston. It kicks off as it took a wicked hop, and I don't think Ariston, we couldn't really see because Armenta, the catcher, was right in front of us. And it looks like Luna's gonna go talk with her. It hit off the end of the bat, and it just took a wicked sideways hop. I don't think Ariston ever had a chance. Hit off her foot, says Albert Robles. Thank you, Albert. So she just muffs the ground ball that came back to her, and now it's bases loaded. So read that an E1 for Varela. Clark moves to second, and Beatty goes to third. Still 2 outs in the inning, so let's see if Ariston can get out of this one, as that brings up Savannah Salon. She looks at a first pitch ball. Batting from the right side. Has a 1-0 count in her favor. Playing second base today for the Jaguars. She swings through this inside pitch. It's a 1-1 count to the second baseman. On the season in 12 starts for the Jaguars, Salon has hit .265 on the year. This one misses down and in, 2-1. Try to get Salon to chase another inside breaking pitch. Ariston in the circle for your Dons. They trail 1-0 here in the top of the first. 2 outs. This one, check swing. They're going to say she didn't go around as they appealed down to the field umpire, Harrison Cole. And so now it's a 3-1 count in favor of Salon. Ariston's going to have to give her a good pitch here. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the top of the first. This one misses way high, and It was an easy take there for Salon. She has an RBI walk as Beatty comes around to score from third. Clark will move over to third and replace her. Varela will move to second, and Salon is aboard at first. So another quick little meeting between the infielders, the catcher, and the pitcher here in the circle as the Dons trail 2-0 here in the first inning. Again, thanks for tuning into Don Softball here on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. On the season, Ariston has started 9 games for the Dons, has a record of 2-5. She's pitched 4 complete games and has 1 shutout under her belt as well. That shutout coming against Ventura College. As I mentioned, she's pitched in 37 in the third inning. She has an ERA of 6.56. Still in the bases loaded jam, and looks like this one catches the inner half, says home plate umpire Wheaton. And so it's an 0-1 count to Larisa Serrano. Wearing number 5, playing catcher today. She's a freshman from Steel Canyon High School. This one misses up and away, 1-1 the count. In 37 of the third innings, Ariston has given up 52 hits, 50 runs, but only 35 have been earned. Has issued 39 walks and 6 strikeouts. So walks has been an issue this year for the freshman from Godinez. This one hit up the middle. Amrijo is not going to be able to get to it as Martinez is going to have to play this on one hop. 2 more runs are going to come in to score as now the Jaguars take a 4-0 lead, and Ross is going to come up to the circle. And that might spell the end for Ariston as both Clark and Varela came in around to score. Salon moved to second, and Serrano stays put at first. She has 2 RBIs under her belt after that hit. It was a liner that wasn't in the air very long, so no chance really for Varela to try, excuse me, for Salon to try and advance to third, or for Serrano to try and take second. Looks like they're going to leave Ariston in there. Again, that's head coach Marissa Ross in her 4th year with the program. Dons struggling this year, but the Dons are 2 years removed from an incredible 2022 season in which the Dons made it to the 3C 2A state tournament. However, the Dons don't have the same pitching they did that year, and so struggling her early on, trailing 4-0 to the Southwestern College Jaguars as Kalia Giroux hits this one, and it's popped up. Armenta couldn't find it in time. It's hit rather weakly, had a lot of spin on that one. It looked like it was going to go into fair play, but it kept spinning backwards. If Armenta just took her glove out to the left, she might have been able to get that one. However, she wasn't able to track it off the bat. Hard thing to do with the catcher's mask on as well. Armenta, just a freshman from Magnolia High School. A lot of young players here on this Dons roster. This one runs up and in on Giroux. It's now a 1-1 count to the right fielder today, wearing number 9. This one catches the inner half. It looks like Ariston likes living there on the inside part of the plate, especially when she throws that off speed. She gets a lot of these Jaguars hitters out up in front, and they're pulling a lot of these pitches foul. However, she doesn't have that put away pitch. Let's see if she can get to it here. This one skips in the dirt. It's now a 2-2 count as you see Giroux's facial expression as that one nearly clipped her foot on the bounce. Runners on first and second. Salon over there at second. Larisa Serrano over there at first. Giroux in the batter's box. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Checks her swing. Oh. A few of the Dons players started jogging towards their dugout, but it's ruled inside, and a ball runs the count full. 3-2 now. On deck would be the leadoff hitter, Daniela Sandez. Here's the full count pitch. This one's fouled out lazily behind third base. It's Alyssa Armijo who camps under it in shallow left field for out number 3. So the Jaguars do get 4 in the top of the first. And they send 9 people to the plate. However, they do strand 2 as the Dons are behind the 8 ball as we head to the bottom of the first. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don Softball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel in conjunction with SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Noah Alvarez, joined alongside Albert Robles. Thanks for tuning in. Wherever you may be tuning in from today, it turns out to be a nice day for softball. The last time I was here, it was an extremely windy day as Santa Ana took on Santiago Canyon College. The Santa Ana winds were in full effect. If you live in the Orange County area, you're very familiar with the Santa Ana winds. So wind gusts were up to 40 miles per hour that Thursday. That was 2 Thursdays ago. The Dons did come away with a walk-off win, and it was a walk-off walk of all things, as they were down 5-0 as they headed to the bottom of the 7th. However, the Hawks pitchers just weren't able to find the strike zone. It was 4 straight walks, then an error on a bunt placed down by Alyssa Armijo. And then on that error, the Dons were able to get 2 runs, and then it was continuous with the walks. There was 3 straight walks, a hit by pitch, and then another walk that allowed the Dons to walk off as they had the bases loaded. That 6th run came across, and the Dons celebrated their first Orange Empire Conference victory, as they're now 2-7 in the Orange Empire Conference. It's one of the most competitive conferences in the 3C2A. Now the Dons will get their first cracks at it here in the bottom of the first, trailing 4-0. They'll be taking on a very talented pitcher in Madison Mendez, wearing number 17. She's a 5'10 sophomore from Santana High School. This one's hit hard right off the bat of Avila, but right to the third baseman. She has a big smile on her face. That's Rachel Varela. So a hard line out right to third base for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Madison Mendez. Didn't even get a chance to read off the stats. That's how quickly that first pitch went. Mendez has started 11 games now for the Jaguars, has an ERA of 3.17. Here's the first pitch to Mia Luna. Off-speed pitch makes his way outside. She's pitched 60 innings exactly after that last out, has given up 72 hits, 27 earned runs, 12 walks, and 26 strikeouts. Here's the 1-0. Finds the inner half. 1-1 the count to Mia Luna. Playing third base today for the Dons. On the season, batting .308 in 15 starts for Santa Ana Dons and head coach Marissa Ross. She shows bunt, tried to get this one down as it was in the zone, however, wasn't able to make connection with it. It's now a 1-2 count to the freshman from Segerstrom High School. Still a little bit of a breezy day today. Wind blowing out from left field over to right field. So across the outfield, as you see the flags over there in center. This one hit on the ground right off the glove of Mendez. Does she have a play at first? No, she does not. So it looked like she wasn't able to glove it cleanly. We'll see if they rule that one an error or just an infield single. It looked like it hit her right in the webbing, though, so I'm going to rule that one an error on my books. It's another error by the pitcher that allows Luna this time to get on, and let's see if the Dons can capitalize off the error. They trail 4-0 here in the bottom of the first. It'll be back-to-back sophomores, as the first one up will be Sarah Casey, wearing number 3, batting from the left side. One of the leading hitters in many different categories for this Dons lineup. She's been seeing the ball extremely well in the month of March. Leads the team with a .429 batting average in 19 starts. This one fouled back into the netting, and we'll do it now 0-2. Mendez gets the call from the wristband into her windup. Luna stays put over there at first. Has pretty good speed as this one misses down and away. 1-2 the count now to Casey. She doesn't strike out often, only has 6 strikeouts in 56 ABs. A very disciplined hitter. This one had a lot of spin. I thought that was a curveball there. However, it started low, and Casey was able to lay off of it. Good idea there by Mendez. It's a now 2-2 count. Mendez was on this Jaguars team last year. Both the Jaguars and the Dons played each other twice. They split that series last season. This one hit on the ground in the 5-6 hole, and it's going to get all the way to left field. As stopping at second now, this one skips away off the glove of the second baseman. But right there, backing it up, is the first baseman. So Luna's going to stay put at second, excuse me. Casey gets over to first. 1 out here in the bottom of the first for the first baseman now for the Dons, Sonia Carnal. Let's get you that starting infield. As we mentioned, Mendez is in the circle. Larisa Serrano behind the plate for the Jaguars. Yasmin Clark at first. Savannah Salone over at second. At short, Jordan Beatty. And at third, Rachel Varela. This one hit on the ground again. This time, Beatty's able to get a glove on it and makes a beautiful throw as she was falling down to her right over to third base. Nice athleticism there by Beatty. 6-5 for out number 2. So it's a fielder's choice. Carnal does end up at first. Casey ends up over there at second. There's now 2 outs, and they'll bring up right fielder Julia Ariston. Excuse me, she's in the circle for the Dons today. Here's her first pitch from Mendez. Misses the outer half. You already see early on that Mendez on the circle trying to work both sides of the plate, attacking the inside, but also trying to set up her breaking stuff on the outer half. That time misses. Let's see if Ariston can help her own cause as she watches the first strike to her AB go in there. It was a slow breaking ball. Ariston hitting .230 on the season. That started 19 games for the Dons. This one hit softly into center, and camping under after taking about 2 steps in is center fielder Daniela Sandez. So the Dons are strand 2 runners as it's a lazy fly out for out number 3. They trail 4-0 as we head to the top of the second. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don Softball here on sportsnetusa.net. in conjunction with the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. It'll be the top of the order, 1, 2, 3, as the Jaguars sent 9 hitters to the plate in the top of the first. I'm sure head coach Michael Gross, who's in now his second year of the head of the program, looking to get more runs up on the board, keep the good things going, as they were kind of in a scoring drought the last few games. In the last 3 games they played, actually, they've only been able to muster up 3 runs and 5 total hits. They fell to Grossmont College by a score of 1-0 last Friday, and then they lost to Palomar College 11-0 last Wednesday. They did have a game on Thursday against Long Beach City College. It looked like that game was paused in the 3rd inning, and they were trailing 3-2. However, if you go on the Southwestern Jaguars Athletics, not YouTube page, but on their website, it says that the Jaguars got a win. So maybe Long Beach City College was using an illegal player or decided to forfeit that game. It is marked as a win, as when I was looking up the Southwestern record before the game, it changed from 14-10 to 15-9. So they did get a win somehow against Long Beach City College. It'll be the leadoff hitter once again, Daniela Sandez. Both these teams have lost 2 of their last 3 games. Don's looking to pick up win number 7 here at home as the first pitch is in there by Ariston. 0-1 the count. She used 33 pitches to get out of the first. This one misses in the dirt. Four to nothing is the score. It's the top of the second inning. Santa Ana Dons taking on the Jaguars from Southwestern College. This one hit hard, but again, fouled down the left side. It was another off-speed pitch on the inner half. Ariston likes throwing those. As long as the Jaguars can't keep it fair, why not keep doing it again and get it ahead in the count? And her first AB, Sandez, sent it to center field. However, it was caught by Haley Martinez for the first out of the first inning. This one, ooh, misses the upper half. It's now a 2-2 count. Good idea there by Ariston. Good discipline there by Sandez. Here's the 2-2. Misses the inner half. Now it's a full count. On deck, the number 2 hitter, Gloria Rodriguez. She had a single in her first AB back in the top of the first. This one hit on the ground. It's going to be Luna over there at third, making a strong throw over to first in time for out number 1. She was ranging over to her left, gathered her feet, and made a strong throw to Carnal. 1 out. And that'll bring up Gloria Rodriguez. Talking with head coach Michael Gross before the game, he said the team likes to call her Go-Go. That's her nickname. So Gloria Go-Go Rodriguez, a freshman from Mar Vista High School. Head coach Michael Gross over there on the third base side. Want to know the count? Gross in his second year as the head of the Southwestern program. However, he's very familiar in the South Bay area. This one's hit foul again to the left side. Head coach Michael Gross brought 2 CIF championships to his previous job. He was coaching over there at Olympian High School in the city of Chula Vista. And he led that program to win a CIF championship in both 2015 and in 2017. Then he became an assistant 3 seasons ago, back in the 2021 season, and has spent 2 years as head of the program for the Southwestern Jaguars. It's now a 1-2 count to Gloria Rodriguez, as Ariston will stop to take a timeout and tie her shoe. It's the first meeting between these two teams. They were supposed to meet back on February 5th, but due to rain, the game got pushed back to next Monday on April 1st. Here's the pitch from Ariston. It's into left field. Can Marquez get to it? She cannot. It hits off the wall. Martinez now gets it into her cutoff, as that's a 1-out double for Rodriguez. Looked like the wind, as I mentioned earlier, blowing out from left field to right field might have played a factor in that. Marquez was heading to her left. Looked like she might have been able to get there. However, the ball just kept drifting with the wind. Ended up all the way bouncing off the fence, and now Ariston has a runner on second. Very dangerous hitter, and Madison Mendez up in the batter's box. First base is open if she wants to work around. This one pulled foul, as Michael Gross had to lift up his foot and dodge the softball coming at him. Oh, 1 count to Mendez. She had a single, as the Jaguars were able to compile 3 straight singles back in the top of the first. This one's hit high in the air, but not very far, as Luna's going to camp under it. Armijo's going to go over there to third, in case the runner decided to try and pull off something sneaky. Nothing doing. Pop out to third base for out number 2. Rodriguez is going to have to stay there at second. And that'll bring up the shortstop today in Jordan Beatty. Beatty made a very nice play at shortstop in the bottom of the first. Ball was hit to her right, as she pulls this one foul down the left field line. Michael Gross has been very active back there, playing a lot of dodgeball, but this time with softballs, as Beatty made a very nice play. She was ranging to her right, and instead of trying to make a really hard throw over to first, she decided to go with their momentum and throw it over to third as there was runners on first and second. So nice heads-up awareness there by the shortstop, knowing where to go with the ball in every particular circumstance. She's down now 0-2 to Julia Ariston. Looks like the pitcher has settled in for the Dons here now in the top of the second. 2 outs. Runner on second. This one hit foul once again. On deck, Yasmin Clark, the first baseman. Here's the 0-2 from Ariston. This one misses outside. Big lead over there off of second in Rodriguez. Armenta is going to hang on to it, though, and not throw down to second. Oh, 2 once more. This one's hit softly onto the right side, and Avila nearly crashes into Carnal. As Carnal, the first baseman, backed up a few steps to camp under it. Glad no one got hurt on that play, and we move now to the bottom of the second. Dons trail 4-0. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don Softball here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Noah Alvarez alongside Albert Robles. And thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. It's a nice day for softball here in the city of Santa Ana. Dealt with a lot of rain and random sporadic rain this past, say, 4 or 5 days. A lot of clouds in the air today, however, none providing precipitation. As we move to the bottom of the second, it'll be 6-7-8 due up for the Dons. Alyssa Armijo will lead things off, followed by catcher Amaya Armenta. And then Haley Martinez will be the third batter coming up for the Dons. The Dons, as I mentioned, entered with a record of 6-14. However, they picked up all 6 of their wins at home and have a record of 6-5 while playing here at Santa Ana College. They are 0-9 on the road as they've struggled to keep the same success that they've had here at home while playing on the road. Their last home game was against Golden West College last Thursday. They won that game 7-2. They only took 1 of 3 from the Golden West Rustlers. They had a home game last Monday, actually, a week from today, against LA Harbor College. But Monday there was a random lightning storm that came into the Orange County area, and that game got suspended in the top of the third. Really interested to see if they decide to play that game at a later date, as Harbor had a 2-0 lead in the top of the third over the Dons. Again, that game was suspended due to the lightning. Only a little bit of rain came down with those clouds that were in the area, as Armijo has a 1-0 count. She's a sophomore shortstop from Foothill High School, one of the leaders on this Dons program. Looking to get the bat going. This one catches the inner half. She checked her swing, looked like she wanted to go around. However, it's ruled a strike by home plate umpire Joe Wheaton. Armijo hitting .224 in 21 starts this season. At the beginning of the year, she was batting in the 3 and then 4 spot, and she's moved down in the order now to the 6. That's a curveball. Nice one there by Mendez. And now a 1-2 count. So now Armijo's going to have to protect. Very solid defensive player over there at shortstop. And like as I said, as a sophomore, she's a leader vocally for this team. She fouls this one back as it was another off-speed pitch from Mendez. We'll do it again at 1-2. Last time I was here against Santiago Canyon College, it was Armijo who put down a bunt down the third base side. The third baseman for Santiago Canyon decided to throw it home, which allowed 2 runs to come across. This one foul tipped off the catcher's foot. Count will remain at 1-2. There was a bases loaded situation. Armijo dropped that bunt down against the Santiago Canyon Hawks. And the third baseman decided to go home with it. It was way off target. So 2 runs came in across to score. Armijo ended up at second, and that started the rally in the bottom of the 7th as the Dons came back and won that game 6-5 after trailing 5-0 in the bottom of the 7th. All 6 of the runs came in the bottom of the 7th. This one hit hard and off the brick over there on the third base side dugout. Not an easy player to strike out. Has had a lot of ABs here for the Dons in her 2 years with the program. Armijo was 1 for 1 in their win last Thursday over Golden West. She had a sac fly and a sac bunt. This one misses the outside corner. So nice plate discipline here by Armijo, a really strong AB here by the sophomore. On deck is Amaya Armenta. Armijo wearing number 7. This one hit hard into left field, but camping under it is the left fielder for out number 1. So really nice battle there between Armijo and Mendez, but Mendez is able to retire the sophomore shortstop, caught by Flores over there in left field. Let's get you the defensive outfield, as we didn't get a chance to do that last time we were here. As in center fielder, you have Daniela Sandez. In right field, you have Kalia Giroux. This one misses in the dirt. 1-0 the count to the catcher, Armenta, wearing number 10 for the Dons. It's Victoria Flores who made the catch over there in left. She is the flex for the Jaguars lineup. This one misses outside. 2-0 the count. Both the Jaguars and the Dons decided to use their left fielders as their flex. It's Victoria Flores for the Jaguars playing left field, but not in the lineup. As here's Mendez's 2-0. This one catches the zone, 2-1. And for the Dons, it's Alexis Marquez playing left field and in the flex spot. 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd. This one hit softly into shallow left field. Flores is going to come in on it and make the catch about 2 steps away from the line. Nice range there by the left fielder. Hung up just long enough in the air. And it's quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the 2nd. Dons trail 4-0. That'll bring up center fielder Haley Martinez, wearing number 8, batting from the right side. Here's the first pitch from Mendez to her. This one catches the upper half. Thought that might have been a strike because the catcher, Larisa Serrano, didn't really frame that one. It was kind of a lazy catch attempt there. Nonetheless, it's an 0-1 count for Mendez to the center fielder for the Dons. She checks her swing, but that one catches the inner half. We see both pitchers, both Ariston and Mendez, attack the inside part of the plate. It's now 0-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 2nd. Nobody on for the Dons. They trail 4-0. This one misses outside. 1-2 the count. On deck, if the Dons are able to keep this inning alive, is the right fielder Carissa Aguilar. Armenta on the season hitting .245 in 20 starts for the Dons this year. This one on the inner half, and Martinez wasn't able to catch up to that one. So it's a strikeout as Mendez able to retire the side in order. Dons go down 1-2-3 as we turn things over to the top of the 3rd. Your Dons still trail 4-0 here on sportsnetusa.net. It'll be 5, 6, 7 due up for the Jaguars. Yasmin Clark will lead things off, followed by Rachel Varela and Savannah Salone. Game number 1 of 2 matchups between the Dons and the Jaguars this season. They split the season series last year, and this is the first game only because the game back on February 5th got rained out. That was supposed to be out Southwestern College over there in Chula Vista, but they rescheduled that one to April 1st. So next Monday, the Dons will travel down to Chula Vista and take on the Jaguars on the road. They're still in search of their first road win this year, the Dons are. However, they're 6-5 at home. Looking to pick up win number 7 here, but they have their work cut out for them as they trail 4-0 heading to the top of the 3rd. Again, thanks for tuning into Don Softball here on sportsnetusa.net. It was last year. The Dons won the first game. That was back on February 8th, 2023. They won that game by a score of 2-1. But in game number 2, the Jaguars got their revenge and they defeated the Dons by a score of 9-1 on April 13th, 2023. Both sophomores that are currently on the roster, Jordan Beatty and Madison Mendez, combined for 5 hits, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored in that 9-1 victory. This is a bunt down the third base line, but spins foul. As a good idea there by Yasmin Clark, the first baseman. Had some good wheels getting down the first base line. Much better second inning pitched by Julia Ariston. She used 33 pitches to get out of the first, but only 16 to get out of the second. So let's see if that trend continues here in the top of the 3rd. This one misses you in her half. 1-1 the count to Yasmin Clark. She reached on a fielder's choice back in the top of the 1st and came around to score. Jaguars with a record of 14-10. This one hit on the ground right to Armijo. She gathers. And a strong throw over to first in time. It's 6-3 on the putout for out number 1.
Number 16, Rachel Varela.
And that'll bring up the third baseman, Rachel Varela. She caught a line drive back in the bottom of the 1st inning off the bat of Mel Avila, the leadoff hitter for the Dons. In her first AB, she had a soft line drive, or I guess you can't have a soft line drive, but she had a soft comebacker to Julia Ariston that bounced off her foot, had a lot of spin to it, but it was an error. Now she fouls this one back to the backstop. 0-1 the count to Rachel Varela. Varela is a sophomore. Went to El Toro High School, then Saddleback Community College before transferring to Southwestern Community College. This one pulled foul into the green padding over there by the brick. Now it's an 0-2 count. On deck is Savannah Salone. Here's the 0-2 from Ariston. Let's see what her put-away pitch is. It's a pitch in the dirt on the inner half as well. So an easy take there for Varela. Despite the Jaguars having a 14-10 record, they've played a lot of like opponents compared to the Dons, and I've struggled against some of the teams that the Dons have struggled against. This one's hit into center field. Martinez goes back about 5-6 steps and camps under it for out number 2. Thought that one might have been trouble with the wind, but it sort of died down when that ball was hit into the air. Now there's 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. That'll bring up the second baseman, Savannah Salone. You mentioned the Jaguars are in the Pacific Coast Athletic Conference, the PCAC, with the likes of Grossmont, San Diego City, Palomar College. And they lost to Grossmont College last Friday by a score of 1-0. The Dons defeated Grossmont earlier this year 10-1. So don't let the records fool you. I think these two teams are a lot more closer in the rankings than you might think based off of the records. Here's the 1-1 to Salone. This one misses inside. This is home plate umpire Joe Wheaton. 2-1 the count. The Jaguars are 2-1 against Orange Empire Conference teams, one of the tougher conferences in the 3C2A. They defeated the likes of Riverside and Golden West, but fell to Saddleback College. That was back in early February. Lost to Saddleback College by a score of 2-1. Defeated Golden West 1-0, and defeated Riverside City by a score of 15-8. Now there's going to be a time called with a 3-1 count. Looks like Ariston has lost a little bit of control here in the top of the third with 2 outs. Don still trail 4-0. Ross talking to the entire infield as the outfielders get together in the outfield. Let's get you some scores from around the 3C2A. Speaking of Grossmont College, they defeated Victor Valley by a score of 11-0. That game final today here on March 25th. Cuesta College has a 9-5 lead over College of the Canyons. That game is in the top of the 7th. It was a doubleheader today for Grossmont and Victor Valley. Grossmont leading 3-0 in the second game of that doubleheader. That game now in the top of the 3rd. The Rustlers have a 4-1 lead over LA Harbor. That game is in the top of the 4th. Saddleback Community College has a 1-0 lead over San Diego Mesa in the bottom of the 2nd. This one's fouled off out of play. 3-2 the count now. So let's see what Ariston can do to put away Salone in the batter's box. 3-2, this one's fouled off again. This time Gross reaches for it. Would you give that an EC, an error on the coach? Some might, as he lets that one roll all the way to the wall. 3-2 again for the Dons. 2 up in the bottom of the order. 9-1-2. Carissa Aguilar will lead things off for Santa Ana College. Here's the 3-2 from Ariston. This one on the ground over to Armijo. Nice, easy throw for the shortstop as they record out number 3. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Julia Ariston, who has settled in nicely after slipping up in the first couple of innings. They still trail 4-0, heading to the bottom of the 3rd. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don Softball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Noah Alvarez joined alongside Albert Robles. Exciting day for softball here. As I mentioned, both teams getting breaks from their conference play, as the Dons are in Orange Empire Conference. They'll take on Saddleback College next week. They do have another non-conference game with Southwestern on Monday before they go back to Orange Empire Conference play. They also have a couple more games this week too during their spring break, as they take on Pasadena at Pasadena City College on Wednesday. That game, first pitch, will be at 2:30. Then they'll take on the ELAC Huskies Thursday. And that game will be a night game, as the Huskies do have lights over there at their facilities. That game will start at 6 p.m. And then they have a game Friday at home against Bakersfield College. It's a game rescheduled from February 20th. Again, a lot of rain this season. Not as much rain as we saw last year, but almost the same amount. As that'll bring up Carissa Aguilar.
Dons, number 12, Carissa Aguilar.
Batting from the right side, wearing number 12. She's a freshman from El Medina High School. Only gotten 32 ABs this season for the Dons, hitting 156 on the year. A lot of times we see her in the flex spot. This time it's Alexis Marquez. This one misses, down and in. She has to back her feet away from Mendez's pitch. Mendez currently sitting at 31 pitches now here in the bottom of the 3rd, excuse me. Mendez in the circle. Serrano behind the plate will get you the rest of the defense. This one hit on the ground, over to third. Strong throw over to first in time as Clark records the out. Scored that 5-3. Over at third, it's Rachel Varela. At short, it's Jordan Beatty. At second, it's Savannah Salone. And at first, it's Yasmin Clark. In left field, it's Victoria Flores. Center field being played by Daniela Sandez. And right field is Kalia, Giroux. Avila shows bunt, however, pulls it back. This one catches the outer half, says home plate umpire Joe Wheaton. It's now a 0-1 count to the leadoff hitter. She lined out to third base on the first pitch she saw back in her first AB. This one misses the outside. Nice frame job there. However, Wheaton not going to reward Serrano on the frame. 1-1 the count. This one also misses the outside. 2-1 the count as Mendez really trying to work that outer half to the lefties, seeing how far she can get Wheaton to extend that zone. Melavila, a sophomore from Orange Lutheran, one of 3 players on this roster for the Dons from Orange Lutheran. All impactful players. It's a breaking ball that almost skips in the dirt. So it's an easy take for an Avila. 3-1 the count. Avila, Vinny Robles, and Sarah Casey all went to Orange Lutheran. All are sophomores, all part of that same class. Vinny Robles not starting today, but she started plenty of games for the Dons this year. This one's fouled off to the left side into the net. So now that'll run the count full. 3-2. Dons trail 4-0 here in the bottom of the third. Let's see what Mendez throws here to try and put away Avila. 1 out, full count. Breaking ball on the out half. And whoa, home plate umpire Joe Wheaton gives the outer half there and a little bit more. It's a backwards K for out number 2. And you hear the home crowd not too pleased with that call. As you mentioned just a few pitches ago, there were some pitches out there that Mendez was hoping they got the call on. However, Wheaton was reluctant to give her that outside pitch. This one was a breaking ball that was spinning, however, didn't have a lot of break. This one's hit on the ground to short. Luna does have some good speed, so it's a quick throw by Beatty, and it's going to be in time. So just like that, instead of having a runner on first, it was a strikeout followed by a ground out to short, and the Dons are set down in order for the 2nd inning in a row. In the bottom of the 4th, it'll be 3-4-5, so the meaty part of the order for the Dons. We'll see if they can get some runs across in the bottom of the 4th. But before we do that, we transition to the top of the 4th. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don Softball here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. It's a beautiful and lovely day for softball. Here in the 3C2A, Dons enter with a record of 6-14, 2-7 in Orange Empire Conference play. The Jaguars record, a little bit confusing. It was 14-10 yesterday. Earlier today it was 15-9, but now it's back to 14-10. So someone's messing with their website over there, as they have a record of 14-10. They're 3-3 in Pacific Coast Athletic Conference play. Another tough conference, very top-heavy though. Palomar is a powerhouse always in the softball world and even in baseball as well. However, some of the other teams in that conference are competitive, but not to the likes of the Orange Empire Conference. The Dons have already played the likes of Cypress College, who went on to win the 3C2A state title last year. They lost 2 of 3 to Santiago Canyon College, who's usually a pretty strong program as well. And they lost 2 of 3 to Golden West this past week. As the first pitch from Ariston is in there for a strike. Larisa Serrano has 2 RBIs and a single that came back in the top of the first. However, the Jaguars and their bats have been held pretty much since that top of the first. They've only had one hit since then. It's now the top of the fourth. The Jaguars still lead 4-0. Ariston has a 1-1 count on the catcher. This one hit into right field. That's going to be Aguilar now charging in, and she makes the catch on the run. Looked like she was only going to have to come in a few steps, but that wind is blowing out there, kept it tailing to her left, and she had to keep coming in.
Number 7, Kalia Giroux.
Especially off a right-handed hitter's bat, that ball will tail away to a right fielder's left, especially if you hit it towards the end. Nonetheless, it's out number 1, and now it's the 9-hitter, Kalia Giroux, playing right field today. Wearing number 7. She popped up to shortstop in the outfield grass. It's a bunt. Luna corrals it, and it's going to be safe, says the field umpire, Harrison Cole. A lot of expression there by Giroux as the Jaguars get their first base runner, as Ariston was able to retire 6 straight. So that ends a streak of 6 straight batters retired by Ariston. A bunt single for Kalia Giroux, and that turns things over to the top of the order. Daniela Sandez. Runner goes on the way to second. Armenta's throw way out there, and it gets all the way to center. She thought about, Giroux was trying to be a little too aggressive there as she started going to third. Martinez got it in relatively quickly, and so Giroux has to slide back into second. So good aggressive base running there. Armenta's throw was strong, however, with the wind, it tailed very hard to a second baseman's left, to the point where Avila, the backup, couldn't even get it, a glove on it. So now there's a runner on second. Wouldn't be surprised if Giroux tried to take third and test Armenta's arm and accuracy. This one's hit right to Luna at third. She looks the runner back to second. Now Carnal's gonna have to throw down to Armijo at short, and she's out. So trying to go from second to third, score that 5-3 on the putout for Sandez. That's out number 2, but it's 5-3-6 on the tag for out number 3. So nice defensive positioning there as Giroux now slow to get up. Looks like the trainer's gonna go ahead and talk to her. Getting good heads up baseball there by Carnal. She throws it over to Armijo, who was covering the bag from her shortstop position over there at third, because Luna was a few steps ahead of the bag when she took that grounder. A nice accurate throw, a good tag, and the Dons get out of the inning with a double play. Score that 5-3-6. You don't see that one too often in the scorebook. Nonetheless, it moves it to the bottom of the fourth. Dons still trail 4-0 as they look to get their first runs in the board. And I'm Noah Alvarez, joined by Albert Robles. Thanks again for tuning in to Don Softball here on SportsNetUSA.net. It'll be 3-4-5 due up for the Dons. Sarah Casey, Sonia Carnal, and then Julia Ariston. So let's see if the trio there can get something going for the Dons. 3 of their stronger hitters, along with Alyssa Armijo, 2 in the 6th spot. If the Dons are able to get a runner on. Looks like Giroux is going to be okay. She was helped to the dugout. Be interested to see. Does look like she's going to go and take her position at right field. So glad to see she's okay. Might have jammed her finger on the slide over there to third. Good aggressive base running to get that stolen base and take second. However, a little too aggressive there, and a strong throw by Carnal retires her at third base for the final and third out of the top of the 4th inning.
Number 3, Sarah Casey.
So that'll bring up the designated player batting in the 3 spot today, Sarah Casey. This one hit to the left side. It's going to bounce foul by a matter of inches. She just tried to slap that one, and the third baseman had little to no time to react. However, she was so close to the line that the ball Fell on the other side, the left side of the foul line over there on the left side. So we'll do it again now, 0-1. Next pitch will be number 40 for Mendez. This one misses down and away. 1-1 the count. Casey had a single back in the bottom of the first. Ooh, nice curveball there. However, it doesn't catch the outer half. We did see that same exact pitch, though, in that same spot, called a strike 3 to Haley Martinez back in the bottom of the second. 2-1 the count to Sarah Casey. This one also misses outside. 3-1 the count. And you see Mendez working very carefully. Again, this is one of the better hitters here in this Dons lineup. 1-for-1 on the afternoon. Cardinal in the cleanup spot and on deck. Here's the 3-1 to Casey. This one in and a little bit high as well. So it's a base on balls for Casey. And let's see, as the Dons have had their leadoff runner for the first time in today's game. Looks like the Dons are going to go with a pinch runner as well. So the flex will come in and run for Sarah Casey. That's Alexis Marquez. She's playing left field. Again, not in the lineup, but in that flex spot, she can come in and pinch run for Casey. Wind picking up a little bit here at Santa Ana College, blowing out from left field to right field across the diamond. Marquez over there at first, Cardinal in the batter's box. Here's the first pitch to her. She started the hands and pulled back as this pitch catches the upper right quadrant. 0-1 the count to the first baseman, a sophomore. This one hit on the ground hard. Ooh, might have caught a bucket out there over there in the dugout, as the coaches have to be on high alert today. A lot of balls pulled foul over there to that side. 0-2 now the count to the first baseman, though. Marquez over there at first, running for the DP, Casey, who drew a base on balls to lead off the bottom of the fourth. Here's the 0-2 from Mendez. She's in the windup. This one hit on hard past the diving third baseman, and Marquez will advance to second. Cardinal has her first single of the game. She's now 1 for 2 as she advances to first. A good opportunity here for the Dons to get their first runs in the afternoon. That'll bring up the pitcher, Julia Ariston. Hitting .231 on the season, has 6 RBIs, has a chance to pick up maybe 1, potentially 2 if she's able to find a gap. Started her hands but held back, but it's a strike nonetheless, says Joe Wheaton, the home plate umpire for today's game. 0-1 the count to the 5-hitter. Another dangerous hitter on deck, and Alyssa Armijo, the sophomore shortstop. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. This one hit in the air to left center. Going back to track it and making the catch for out number 1 is Daniela Sandez. Good contact, just a little too much under it, as it's an easy routine fly ball for Sandez, an experienced outfielder out there. So the runners will have to stay put. Marquez stays at second. Cardinal over there at first. Another dangerous hitter in Alyssa Armijo, going through a little bit of a slump. Flew out to left field in her last AB. Shows bunt, gets it down over to third base. Making the throw over to the second baseman covering, so she does a job there. She sacrificed herself for the second out. Score that 5-4. However, both runners advance 60 feet, excuse me. As Marquez now over at third, Cardinal over there at second. Don's electing to play with the small ball, and now it'll be the catcher, Amaya Armenta. Due up for the Dons. 2 outs. Runners on second and third, looking for their first runs. This one hit on the ground again to third. It's a short chopper, and the catcher unable to beat it out. So it's out number 3. The Dons do strand 2 runners on, both in scoring position, as it was a good opportunity for them to try and get their first runs of the game. Nonetheless, they trail 4-0 as we head to the top of the 5th. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don Softball here on SportsNetUSA.net. It'll be 2-3-4 due up for the Jaguars in the top of the 5th. Gloria Rodriguez, Mendez, and then Beatty will be up for the Jaguars. They have a 4-0 lead. They got all 4 of their runs in the top of the 1st. They have 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. The Dons have no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The Jaguars got their first runs thanks to a Jordan Beatty single that went through the 5-6 hole. Mendez, the pitcher, was able to score from second on that one, from third. Then Savannah Stallone walked with the bases loaded. Rachel Varela came around to score. And then with bases still loaded again, it was Larisa Serrano who singled up the middle, and that allowed 2 more Jaguar runners to score as as Rachel Varela and Clark both came around to score in that game.
Number 15, Gloria Rodriguez.
So that's how we have the score as is, 4-0 here in the top of the 5th. The Jaguars on the road looking to steal a game from the Santa Ana Dons. Ariston had a very efficient top of the 4th. This one's down the line, and Luna's not going to be able to get to it as it sneaks past her glove. Marquez gets it in quickly. A strong throw, so it keeps Rodriguez over there at first. But she now has her 3rd hit of the afternoon, 2 singles and a double. As no one's seeing the ball better than her for the Jaguars lineup. They now have 8 hits as a staff. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Madison Mendez. This one hit hard. Wow, that had the distance to go over the fence. However, she pulled that well foul. Yet on your camera feed, there'll probably be 2 foul poles. That one that's closer to the scoreboard is the foul pole, though, for the baseball field, as both the baseball right field and the softball left field are back-to-back. So you're going to have to look for the softer, it's almost white, as this one's on the ground to Armijo. Armijo turns it over to second. Avila is there in time, and they get just 1 on that one. 6-4, not an easy play for Armijo, as she had to come in and charge off of that soft dribbler. So Mendez reaches first, but on a fielder's choice. It looks like there's going to be a pinch runner for her. Wearing number 1, that'll be Ale Garcia, a freshman from East Lake High School. So it's Garcia running at first for the pitcher, Mendez. Now Jordan Beatty, the shortstop.
Now batting, number 8, Jordan Beatty.
1 for 2 on the day. She has a single, an RBI single that came in the top of the 1st, but she also popped up to first base. That was back in the 2nd inning. This one in the dirt, but Armenta's able to keep it in front of her. 1-0 the count. Ariston now at 70 pitches in the outing. This one hit on the ground but pulled foul by a couple of feet that time. Moves the count now to 1-1. Dons trail 4-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. looking to pick up their 7th win at home this season. Just a very beatable Southwestern College team. This one in the dirt. Armento's going to throw back to first. Ooh, that was a good throw and a good tag by Carnal. But umpire Harrison Cole says she's safe. That was a ball on the pitch as Garcia was trying to be really aggressive over there at first. This one catches the inner half. 2-2 the count now. So the number 4 hitter. On deck, Yasmin Clark, the first baseman for the Jaguars. Ale Garcia at first. Jordan Beatty awaiting the 2-2 from Ariston. This one hit on the ground to Armijo. Hard hit. She turns it to Avila for 1. And Avila's throw is not going to be in time. Didn't look like she got a great throw either as she tried to rush it without setting her feet. And so it skipped over there to Carnal. Beatty was going to beat it out regardless, so it's another fielder's choice for the Jaguars. 6-4 again on the putout for out number 2. So now there's 2 outs. Runner on first is Jordan Beatty, and that'll bring up Yasmin Clark. Things have gotten a little chillier now. This one misses the inside. 1-0 the count. It's Mia Luna over there at third, Alyssa Armijo at short, Mel Avila at second, Sonia Carnal at first. This one hit on the ground to Avila at second. She tosses it the short way to Armijo, and that's out number 3. So nice work by the middle infielders in this half of the inning for the Dons as they recorded all 3 outs. Harriston is able to strand a runner at first. She's been very efficient since that first inning. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don Softball here on sportsnetusa.net. I'm Noah Alvarez, joined alongside Albert Robles. We have some scores that went final in the 3C2A. Cuesta defeated College of the Canyons by a score of 9-5. That was game number 1 of a doubleheader, as game number 2 is currently in the top of the 2nd. Both teams tied at 4 apiece. Also going final, Golden West, the Rustlers, an Orange Empire Conference foe for the Dons. They defeated LA Harbor by a score of 6-2. And then Pasadena City College defeated Citrus College by a score of 8-2. That score also final. Also going on today, but we don't have any live stats or a score from them, is Cypress and Cerritos. 2 schools not very far in distance. It's a makeup game from a game that was scheduled originally on February 23rd. Again, a lot of rainouts being rescheduled here in the 3C2A. And only teams in the southern region active today. Victor Valley has a 9-7 lead over Grossmont College in their game number 2 of their doubleheader. Saddleback has a 10-3 lead over San Diego Mesa. That game's in the bottom of the 6th. And of course, the Jaguars still have a 4-0 lead over Santa Ana College here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Dons as they look to get some offense going here in front of their home crowd. Again, looking to pick up win number 7. Currently 6-5 in home games this season. This one misses way up and away. Easy take there for Martinez. The wind's starting to pick up once again. Things looking a little gloomier here. Hoping there's no rain that comes this way. Here's the windup from Mendez. Check swing, and it's still a strike nonetheless to Martinez. Hitting .361 on the season. Has started 17 games for the Dons. She missed some games early on due to some injuries. It's now a 1-1 count to the starting center fielder. This one hit hard. It's a short hop over to the shortstop. Beatty makes a strong throw, shows off the strong arm there, and that's out number 1. She had to make a bang-bang decision. She could have either charged that and tried to get it on a low line drive that would have maybe, hit off the tip of her glove and gone off in a different direction. Instead, she's decided to stay put, play the short hop, which is not an easy thing to do. However, she was able to glove it cleanly and make a strong throw over to first. Aguilar nearly gets hit on that pitch. She was showing bunt. That one almost hit her front knee. It's now a 1-0 count in favor of the right fielder. She grounded out to third base back in her first AB that came in the bottom of the third. This one misses in the dirt, 2-0. Aguilar, a freshman outfielder from El Medina High School. Check swing, and this one is a strike regardless on the outer half, 2-1. Good location there by Mendez. Another good frame job there by Larisa Serrano, the catcher. Here's the 2-1. In a similar spot. Breaking ball, though, had a lot more movement. Maybe a couple more inches outside, and it's now a 3-1 count to the number 9 hitter. Melavila, the leadoff hitter, on deck for the Dons. Here's the 3-1. This one in there in the zone, and Aguilar not going to get a better pitch to hit in this AB. Batting from the right side. This one hit on the ground, but foul. As this time the third baseman, Varela, was able to get a glove on it. Varela over there at third, Beatty at short. Salone at second. And at first is Yasmin Clark. Flores in left. Sandez in center. And Giroux in right. Here's the 3-2 once again. This one right back to the pitcher. Mendez going to take a nice, easy stride. Make a strong throw over to first. Out number 2 in the bottom of the 5th. And so now we turn things over to the top of the order, but this time with 2 outs, as I'm sure the Dons coaching staff not too happy, as they've only gotten the chance once with their top of the order with nobody out in the inning. And that came again in the bottom of the first. This one misses outside to the lefty. 1-0 the count. Mendez now at 60 pitches in the contest today. Bottom of the 5th, wind picking up. I'm sure you're hearing a little bit in the mic. This one swung on and missed. Nice off-speed pitch there as Avila was out in front on that one. 1-1 the count to the second baseman. She's 0 for 2 on the day. She's the one who went down looking on a questionable strike 3 call by home plate umpire Joe Wheaton. On the season, hitting .295 entering today's game. 2-1 the count. Two one, 2 outs, nobody on base for the Dons here in the bottom of the 5th. This one's hit softly, but it's going to fall foul. It's probably good that it did, too, for Avila, as it didn't have a lot of distance on it. It might have been a very catchable ball for Flores had it stayed fair. Now it's a 2-2 count. Mendez trying to set down the Dons in order for the 3rd time in this game. Here's the 2-2. This one fouled back off the easy up here, so that one made a louder sound. And we'll do it once again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on for the Dons here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the 2-2 from Mendez. This one misses the outer half. However, I'm sure Avila had flashbacks as she got that same location called strike number 3 back in her last AB. So good take and good discipline here by her. A good call by home plate umpire Joe Wheaton. Here's the full count pitch. A breaking ball that misses way outside. An easy take for Avila. It's a base on balls. It's the first base on balls. No, excuse me. The second base on balls issued by Mendez. And now she'll be tasked with getting out Mia Luna, the third baseman today. She's 0 for 2, 2 groundouts. She did reach on an error back in the bottom of the first. This one catches the inner half. 0-1 the count. Let's see if Mia can find a hole in the infield somewhere. Both the corner infielders playing up. Clark at first. Varela over there at third. This one's hit right over to Clark as she gloves it and steps on the bag for out number 3. So again, the Dons are able to get a runner on. However, with 2 outs, unable to create a 2-out rally. It'll be 3-4-5 due up for the bottom of the 6th. So another good opportunity for the Dons to get some runs up. They're starting to run out of chances, down to their last 6 outs here in today as they trail 4-0 as we head over to the top of the 6th. Again, thanks for tuning into Don Softball here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Noah Alvarez, joined alongside Albert Robles. It'll be 6, 7, 8 due up for the Jaguars. Rachel Varela, Savannah Salone, and then Larisa Serrano. A 3 due up here for the Jaguars. And head coach Michael Gross. And these two teams play their second game of the season against each other next Monday, April 1st. That game will be at Southwestern Community College over there in Chula Vista. Dons have a few more games this week after today. It's their spring break, so they don't have conference play. They take on Pasadena City College on the road Wednesday, March 27th. Then the following day they take on ELAC, East LA College, again on the road. That game will be in the evening. First pitch scheduled for 6 p.m. And then Friday they'll host Bakersfield. The game will start at 12 noon. So 4 games this week. This is game 1 of 4 for the Dons. 2 at home, 2 on the road. First pitch misses to Varela. 1-0 the count. Ariston still in the circle for the Dons. She really had to labor through that first inning, but once she did, she's only given up 2 hits since then. As this one's a bunt, placed right down the middle, right back to Ariston, but it's a little too high for Carnal. Backing up, the throw at first is Aguilar, so having to stay put there is Varela.
Number 13, Savannah Salone.
So score that E1. E1 on the throw by Ariston, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Savannah Salone. Varela's over there at first. This one hit hard into left field, down the line, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Marquez does a nice job of corralling it quickly and getting it in quickly. So Varela only goes to second on the single. But it's an error and then a single that now has 2 runners on and nobody out. So head coach Marissa Ross will take that long stroll over to the circle. Might spell the end for Julia Ariston, the starter for today, the Dons. Due up next for the Jaguars is Larisa Serrano. She's 1 for 2 on the day. She had a 2 RBI single back in the top of the first, then flew out to right field to kick things off in the top of the 4th. Looks like they're going to leave Ariston out there. So let's see if she can try and get out of this jam after the pep talk by head coach Marissa Ross. As I mentioned, the Jaguars did get 4 runs across in that first inning. But outside of that, Ariston's only given up 3 hits. 3 hits in their next 3 innings of work. However, she's given up her 4th hit here in the in the top of the 6th. Runner on first and second, nobody out. Larisa Serrano, the catcher, She shows bunt. Armenta going to throw down to second. Avila applies down the tag. However, Varela is going to be there safely. 1-0 the count. Bunt gets it down. Luna going to make a throw over to first in time, and Varela's going to stay put over there at third. So runners on second and third now. Varela at third. Salona over there at second. A sack bunt for Larisa Serrano. Looks like there's going to be a substitution made as Gross talking with home plate umpire Joe Wheaton. So it looks like there's going to be a substitution. Victoria Nunez. She's a 5'6" freshman from San Isidro High School. And so she'll be hitting for Kalia Giroux. Wonder if that's injury related. I wonder if she'll come in and play defense for Giroux in right field. This one catches the inner half. It's a 0-1 count. Runners on second and third, one out here in the top of the sixth. Ariston trying to get out of this jam. Keeping the score as is, 4-0. This one fouled softly, and Ariston's able to make a nice grab charging in from the rubber as it's an easy pop-up for out number 2. Those are always tricky too because it has so much backspin, so it's actually going towards home plate. But Armenta didn't have good enough reaction to go out there and get it, so it's the pitcher who came in and recorded out number 2 herself. Now we turn things over to the top of the order. And Daniela Sandez, she's 0 for 3 on the afternoon. 2 ground outs and a fly out. As Armenta's able to keep this one in front. 1-0 the count after this pitch in the dirt. Ariston now at 93 pitches in the afternoon. It's the top of the 6th inning. Looks like it's her game. This one hit softly, but right to Avila on the right side. So it's a line out to second base for out number 3. Nice job by Ariston and the Dons defense to get out of that run and strand 2 runners in scoring position. So it looks like Nunez will go out and play right field for Kalia Giroux. 3-4-5 due up for the Dons here in the bottom of the 6th, down to their last 6 outs in the game. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don Softball here on sportsnetusa.net. I'm Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. So to be Sarah Casey, who's got on base both times that she's come up to plate, leading things off. After her, it'll be Sonia Carnal, then Julia Ariston and Alyssa Armijo if anyone's able to get on base. Again, it's the bottom of the 6th. Dons still trail 4-0. Don't want to lose hope just yet. As we saw just 2 weeks ago on a Thursday, the Dons are trailing 5-0 in the bottom of the 7th, down to their last 3 outs. However, they came away with 6 runs in that bottom of the 7th and defeated the Santiago Canyon Hawks by a score of 6-5 on a walk-off walk on all things. A very exciting finish here at Santa Ana College. Could be potentially another one brewing. Let's see if the Dons are able to capitalize on an opportunity here in the bottom of the 6th to close the gap. Madison Mendez still in the circle for the Jaguars, pitching one fantastic game today. This first one misses high and inside. In 5 innings pitched, she's striking out 2 batters, walked 2, and she's only given up 2 hits, both coming to Sarah Casey. Batter in the box right now at the moment. This one catches, no, misses the outer half. 2-0 the count. Excuse me, 1 hit came to Sarah Casey. The other came via Sonia Carnal. Casey reached the second time via base on balls. That again was back in the bottom of the fourth. That one had a lot of spin, and it swept from the left to the right, catches the inner half. It's now a 2-1 count to the designated player. Wearing number 3, batting from the left side. Mendez has the pitch. Wind up. This one hit on the ground softly, right to Varela. She's able to make a strong throw in time. As that one looked like it caught off the end of Casey's bat. She's waving her hands as if maybe that one stung a little bit. Score that 5-3 on the putout, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Now to bring up first baseman Sonia Carnal. This one catches the outer half. Despite Serrano not being able to glove that one cleanly, it's still a strike. 0-1 the count. Carnal 1 for 2 on the afternoon. She reached via fielder's choice back in the bottom of the first and then had a single in the bottom of the fourth. Let's see what the first baseman can do. This one hit on the ground hard towards Ross. However, it's going to be foul. 0-2 the count. She was down 0-2 in her last AB as well. However, she hit a single and ripped it through the 5-6 hole. Let's see what she does down here. 0-2 again to Madison Mendez. Here's the 0-2. This one hit hard again, but this one about 10 feet foul of that left field line. Got some good elevation on that one. We'll do it again, 0-2. Julia Ariston on deck for the Dons. Here's the 0-2. This one misses low and in the dirt. Good idea, up 2 strikes in the account. Moves the count now to 1-2 to the first baseman. Hitting .309 on the season. This one flared out to center field, and that one's going to fall for a single. So nice job by Carnal, just trying to protect and make some contact there. It was a weakly hit ball, but right up the middle, and no chance for the sophomore Jordan Beatty to be able to get to that one. Nice piece of hitting there by Robles, and by Carnal. And so she's aboard with a 1-out single. Next we'll have a pinch runner. It'll be Jaylene Salazar, a freshman from Villa Park High School, to pinch run for Sonia Carnal. So the Dons electing to get more speed up on the base pass.
Running for the Dons is number 2, Jaylene Salazar.
Bottom of the 6th. Dons down to their final 5 outs as they trail 4-0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. They'll bring up the number 5 hitter, Julia Ariston. She's also the pitcher today, so let's see if she can help her own cause. This one hit again softly into the outfield, and Beatty's not going to be able to get to it. And so the runner will advance to second now on the flare. Ariston gets to first. That'll bring up sophomore Alyssa Armijo.
Number 7, Alyssa Armijo.
She laid down a sac bunt last time in a very similar situation. Let's see if the Dons elect to do the same thing. It's almost identical. They had runners on first and second with 1 out. Let's see if she decides to drop it down. The corner infielders are ready. Yasmin Clark over there at first. Rachel Varela over there at third. She will be swinging, and she pulls this one foul. Armijo made good contact there, as she usually does. However, just not able to keep that one fair. It's an 0-1 count. One out, runners on second and first. Salazar over there at second. Ariston over there at first. So pretty good speed on the base pass for the Dons. Armijo, ooh, tough call there for the shortstop, as this one looked like it Missed by a few inches, but home plate umpire says it's a strike. 0-2 the count. Armijo's going to have to battle here. On deck, Amaya Armenta, the catcher. Here's the 0-2. This one misses way outside. It's a 1-2 count. 1-2 the count to the sophomore shortstop. She hits this one into the air, into foul territory. Can someone get to it? Beatty does. Ooh, she snow-coned it too as it nearly popped out of her glove. So Armijo tried to protect, unable to advance the runners on that AB. It's a pop-up to the shortstop who caught it in foul territory for out number 2. And that'll bring up the catcher, Amaya Armenta. So the Dons are down to their final 4 outs here. Bottom of the 6th, runners on first and second. Got to capitalize on golden opportunities like this. It's a strike 1 from Madison Mendez. This one's foul tipped into the glove. 0-2 now the count to the catcher, Armenta. On deck, if the Dons are able to keep this inning alive, looked like that might got off of her back foot, actually. On deck, Haley Martinez, the center fielder for the Dons. This one misses up and away. An easy take there for Armenta. 1-2 now the count. Jaylene Salazar over there at second. Ariston over there at first. Dons still trail 4-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Down to their last 4 outs. This one hit on the ground hard, but pulled foul down the third base line. Not a lot of room to work with over there on that third base side as Varela is pretty much hugging the line. Big hole towards the middle of the infield as the shortstop's playing the hitter to pull. This one flares softly into the net on the right side. Good call for the off-speed pitch there. However, Armenta is able to keep battling, and we'll do it again, 1-2. Jaguars have 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. The Dons have no runs, 4 hits, and 1 error through almost 6 complete innings of play here in the afternoon. It's game number 21 for the Dons this season. This one misses inside, and it skips away from Serrano. Both runners will advance 60 feet on the wild pitch. So nice heads-up base running there. Got to be a little bit more disciplined if you're the catcher, Larisa Serrano. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. The deuces are indeed wild. This one foul tipped as Armenta was checking her swing there, but it caught the tip of the bat, and so it fouls back out of play. Mendez now at 86 total pitches on the afternoon. Dons dugout trying to make some noise, hoping they can get some runs here in this opportunity. Here's the 2-2 from Mendez. Armenta checks the swing, and this one says it's a little too inside, says home plate umpire Joe Wheaton. A tough one there as some of the Jaguar players in their dugout were screaming, hoping it was strike 3 called. It's a full count now to Armenta. First base is open. This one, oh, it's an off-speed pitch that gets Armenta looking. Wow. Another tough break there. A slow sweeping breaking ball that catches the outer half or thereabouts. As it's out number 3 for the Dons. They're down to their final 3 outs in the inning. In the game. as we turn things over to the top of the 7th. Dons trail 4-0 here. It'll be 2-3-4 due up for the Jaguars. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don Softball here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Noah Alvarez, joined alongside Albert Robles. Outside of the first inning, both teams have really struggled to score. We have a couple scores that went final, though, in the 3C2A. If you missed it earlier, Grossmont had a doubleheader with Victor Valley. They won game 1 by a score of 11-0. However, Victor Valley won game 2 by a score of 9-7. The Rustlers defeated LA Harbor by a score of 6-2. Cuesta College defeated College of the Canyons by a score of 9-5. Pasadena City College defeated Citrus College 8-2. And an Orange Empire Conference team in play, Saddleback defeated San Diego Mesa 10-3. Also going on is game number 2 of a doubleheader between Cuesta and College of the Canyons. Cuesta has an 11-7 lead over College of the Canyons in game number 2. That game is in the top of the 3rd. Let's see if we can get you a score update from Cypress and Cerritos. Doesn't look like we have live stats for that one. So no score update on that. We move to the top of the 7th. Last 3 outs. The last opportunity to add some insurance run for the Jaguars. Head pitcher Julia Ariston still in the circle as her first pitch misses outside. Currently at 94 pitches on the afternoon. Again, outside of that first inning where she really labored, it's only given up 4 hits, 5 base runners total since that first inning where the Jaguars exploded for 4 runs. 1-1 the count now to the designated player. Gloria Rodriguez is 3 for 3 on the day. This one's hit on the ground hard to Luna. Took a weird hop. She stayed with it, and she makes a strong throw over to first for out number 1. Nice job as that last hop before it got to Luna looked like it caught up on her quicker than she had expected it to. But good reaction time, and that'll bring up Madison Mendez. She's 1 for 3 on the day. Did have a single back in the top of the 1st. She reached on a fielder's choice back in her last AB, but before she reached, she pulled the ball foul that was long enough to go out of the park. This one's flared softly right into the glove of Ariston, and so it's out number 2. A soft line out right back to the pitcher. And that'll be Jordan Beatty, the shortstop, getting her 4th chance at it. 1 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice last time. This one hit on the ground softly. Armijo's going to have to charge, make a throw on the run, and she's out. A strong throw and an impressive play by the shortstop, as one shortstop records an out to the other shortstop. It's a quick, very quick, only 4 pitches used by Ariston. 1-2-3 inning as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Last 3 outs for the Dons. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for your Santa Ana Dons. Again, thanks for tuning in to Santa Ana College Softball here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Noah Alvarez, joined by Albert Robles. Don't forget, you can tune into all the Santa Ana College athletics games here on the Santa Ana College Athletic YouTube channel. There will be a baseball game tomorrow between Santa Ana College and Long Beach City College, 2 of the top teams from the 3C2A. The Dons are the reigning 3C2A champions. That game will be here at Santa Ana College. A good game if you can make it out and are a fan of community college baseball or just a fan of baseball in general. I'll be there on the call. Again, that will be at or on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. We'll also have Saddleback baseball on Saturday, April 6th, as Santa Ana College will travel to Saddleback College to take on the Bobcats. Again, that'll be Saturday, April 6th. So quite some time away. So it'll be Haley Martinez due up first here in the bottom of the 7th. Last 3 outs for the Dons. This one catches the inner half, and Mendez has been so consistent in getting that first pitch strike and a lot of times getting it on that inside part of the plate. The Dons haven't proven in this afternoon's game that they can hit that one and keep it fair. This one hit on the ground hard up the middle. No one's going to get to that one. And so now Martinez does a nice job of leading things off this inning with a single. Could we potentially see some more late inning magic?
Number 12, Carissa Aguilar.
Again, the last time I was here, they had a Thursday game against Santiago Canyon College, a game in which they trailed 5-0 in the bottom of the 7th, came back all the way to win 6-5. Scored all 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th. Let's see what they could do here once more. This one catches the outer half. Carissa Aguilar takes strike 1. 0 for 2 on the afternoon. She grounds it out to the pitcher in her last AB. Martinez has good speed over there at first. Don't know how aggressive the Dons want to be with their last 3 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. This one hit on the ground, kicks off the shoe of the second baseman. And now they have runners on first and second. Should have been a routine play. An E4, says Albert Robles. That's Savannah Salone over there at second base. Tried to backhand that one, but it hit off her foot instead of the glove, and now it turns things over to the top of the order. So runners on first and second. Mel Avila, the leadoff, batting from the left side, showing bunt, now pulls it back. This one hit on the ground hard to short. Beatty's going to go the short way to third, gets the lead runner. And so it's a fielder's choice that allows Avila to reach. It's a similar situation. Score that 6-5 on the putout for out number 1. Aguilar now gets to second. Avila at first. Mia Luna now in the batter's box. 0 for 3 on the day. Would be a good time to get her first hit of the afternoon. This one, a breaking ball that never had a chance. 1-0 the count. Next pitch will be pitch number 100 for Madison Mendez. This is her game, and her game only, it looks like. This one hit on the ground weakly past the right field, by the first baseman into right field. The right fielder gets it in quickly. That's Nunez out there, as Yasmin Clark was covering and wasn't expecting a ball hit to her right. So it sneaks on by into the outfield. It's a single for Mia Luna. Avila now at second. Aguilar now at third. Dons find a way of making things interesting here in the late innings once again. Bases loaded. It's the best hitter due up for the Dons, and Sarah Casey. On the day, she's 1 for 2. She grounded out to third base her last AB. She also drew a base on balls. On the season, hitting .429. She has 8 RBIs on the year. Also has 4 doubles. Would be a great time for a double here. She's able to find a gap, could potentially get 2, maybe 3 runs home for the Dons. And they trail 4-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. Sophomore against sophomore. Madison Mendez in the circle. It's Sarah Casey in the batter's box. Good speed all around for the Dons on the base pass. First pitch is in there on the outer half. And a very confident first pitch there by Mendez. She's now over the century mark, 101 pitches on the afternoon. A workhorse out there in the circle for the Jaguars. This one is flailed at as Casey made a decision kind of late to swing at that one. It's now 0-2. On deck is Sonia Carnal. You at least want to put the ball in play, force the Jaguars defense to make an out as this one misses outside. 1-2. Tough take there by Casey. Mendez gets the signs from her catcher. Here's the windup, the 1-2. This one hit left side, it's gonna fall foul. So we'll do it once more, 1-2, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. It's a battle between the sophomore Mendez and the sophomore Casey. Here's the 1-2. This one fouled softly over to the left side. Casey just trying to battle here. Sir 5 and trying to get a better pitch. Again, first baseman Sonia Carnal in the on deck circle. Here's the 1-2 to Casey. Misses outside, 2-2. Mendez trying to see how far outside she could get Casey to chase and trying to protect. However, Casey doesn't oblige on that last one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one also outside, misses, 3-2. So a walk would get a run in. Casey's going to have to protect. Mendez might try and go outside again. Also expect something maybe soft, an off-speed pitch. Here's the 3-2-0 on the inner half, and it froze Casey. Casey wasn't expecting it on the inner half. It's a strikeout looking for out number 2. Not what you wanted if you're the Dons. As their chances get down, are even slimmer now as they're down to their final out. Bases are still loaded. Sonia Carnal, another important player on this Dons lineup. 10 RBIs on the season. This one fouled back to the net. It was a leadoff single by Haley Martinez at the beginning of this inning. Then Carissa Aguilar reached via an error. Avila reached via a fielder's choice, but Martinez was thrown out at third. Then Mia Luna was able to get a single that loaded the bases. Casey struck out looking. So now we have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. 0-1 from Mendez. This one hit in the air. Oh, it's going to be an infield for the second baseman, and it's Savannah who makes the, Savannah Salone who makes the final and third out of the bottom of the 7th inning. So the Dons are able to load the bases and get the tying run up to the plate. However, are unable to capitalize. They fall to 6-15 on the season. They're now 6-6 at home, while the Jaguars advance to 15-10 on the year. The Dons have a game on Wednesday against Pasadena City College. That game will be on the road before they take on ELAC on the road as well. That game is on Thursday. The Jaguars and the Dons will face each other again next Monday, but that will be at Southwestern College in Chula Vista. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. For Albert Robles, Cami Lewis, and Sal, for everyone a part of the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in to Don Softball here on SportsNetUSA.net.